So we just finished creating our portfolio page, and now we're going to add and organize posts into categories that will be linked from this portfolio page. So we're going to navigate back, and this time we're going to go into our posts, and we're going to view all posts. And so just like we have with pages, we have some dummy content that we want to make sure that we just get rid of here, and then we'll add a new post. And so I've got some dummy text that I'm just going to copy and paste from Word into our post. And a couple of tips on bringing in content from Word or other documents. In web writing, we do not have tabs, so you can take those off and just go through each of those and delete those. Now you might notice there's space between paragraphs. We do want that for web reading. And we also want a decent line height. So you can see mine is 1.5, and I think that is a great number. If you come in and your text looks a little tight like that, just go over and change your line height so it looks good. And so we're going to call this my writing sample. And we're going to put a number on because we're going to do a couple of these. And so now let's categorize it. So think about this. We're going to have many different pieces of writing, and we want those to all be gathered together in one category. So I'm going to go over to my right hand side, and under categories I'm going to add a new one, and I'm going to add writing as a category. And while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to have a video category, and we're going to have a blog category. And so for this one, only want writing checked. So I've got my post created and categorized. Now, notice that this is pretty long. So if I went to that page, I would have to scroll through all of this story to get to the next story, to scroll through the next story. So one of the great tips I have for you is right after your lead paragraph, go ahead and put your plus, and we're going to click Read More. And you'll see when we get this published what that looks like. So we're going to go ahead and hit Publish, and I'm going to go back and add another post. So this is writing sample 2, and you would want to write a real headline. The other thing you want to do before these posts is write something of an editor's note. And you don't have to have the word editor's note in front of it, but you want to have some type of context for the writing, what it is, what the purpose of it is, what your goal, what you learned from this, who the piece was for, that type of thing. So just like before, we'll take off. Now some of your writing pieces might have things like images or links or that type of thing. We can totally make that happen. So I can highlight the text, I can add my link, and now it's a hyperlink. I can add images. So right in the middle of my text, I can add an image, and we'll just select one from our library. When I bring that in there, I can resize that. I can change the text alignment, and I can add caption info. You'll notice that as we're adding blocks and moving them around, I can even rearrange my blocks. So if I wanted to move my photo up and down, I can do that. And I can style in different ways over here on the right hand side. So this is, again, under Post, part of my writing category. I'm going to add my Read More tag, and we will publish that. Now when you're adding your content, obviously you have real content, non-dummy text, and your headline should give me an idea of what that piece is. So is it a press release? Is it a summary writing piece? Give me an idea of that in the headline of that content. Let's go ahead and we'll add another post. So again, adding that editor's note, and just a note that you can always style this a little bit differently. So if I wanted to create a headline style, I could create more of a headline style with that. In this case, it looks more like a subhead. So that might be something you experiment with too, especially on the text, to maybe differentiate that. So let's grab a video link real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the share link. I don't want to grab the URL link. I want to grab the share link, and I'll copy that. And then over in my post, I'm going to add, and let's just show you how easy this is. I'm just going to type the word video and have all these different options. That was a YouTube link, so I'm going to grab that, paste the URL in there, click embed, and notice it brings over all of the play skin, all of my title, all of that good stuff. So again, I'm going to switch over to my post, and I'm going to categorize this as video. And so I will publish that. Now, just another word on some other types of content you might have. Another type of content might be some design content, or maybe you have photos you want to present. Again, I'm going to do that intro that's going to give context. And then just remember, you've got all of those templates. So when I type image, I've got tiled galleries, I've got a full gallery, so I can do all kinds of different things to showcase my images in a really rich way. So now that I've created these posts, I need to add them to our portfolio menu. So anytime menus are involved, that means we need to return to our customizer. So under menus and primary, I'm going to add items. And now under categories, there's those categories we added. So I'm going to check that. And that. And we're going to move those up and under our portfolio, because those are sub menus. And remember, you can also choose reorder and do it that way. So we're going to save changes. And let's preview how this looks. So there's my writing, and when I click on writing, there's writing sample 2, writing sample 1. There's that read more tag that we added in there. When I click in, I can view it. There's that hyperlink. There's our image. If I click on the portfolio tab, here's my intro. So I need to update this link, so I can just click edit. I'm going to edit this button. And so I want to make sure I drop down to writing category. And so that's good. And so now if I preview this page, that will now jump over to my writing sample. So here's a couple of tips for you. And let's go back. Oh, we forgot to update this page. So I'm going to preview the site. So let's say that you go in here and one of the writing pieces or one of the video pieces, something that you thought should be here is not in here. That probably is a case of you not categorizing it correctly. So just make sure under the posts that you've tagged that category on that right-hand side. If you don't see the entire menu item, that means you need to jump into the Customizer and edit that menu.